Hello, how you all doing today? This is your famous Dr. O. I'm out again to talk about parenting. How to be a good parent to your child. How do we get these children to follow the way that we want them to go? How do what we expect in our children as soon as the baby is even being conceived? How do we carry it out life? And at the end to now become a wholesome child. How to raise a wholesome child, or how to raise a child to be wholesome. How to raise a child to be wholesome. Good. Before I start, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification button, and share and like, because these topics are very, very, very important, and it's something that if you don't use it, anyone you know might be able to benefit from it. So now, you start talking to your child when you're pregnant. You see babies born to this world, they don't from 0 to 12 years old, they don't really know better. They are still under your guidance. You are still like the one they listen to. What mommy do is what I will do. What mommy say is what I will say. What daddy do is what I will do. What daddy say is what I will say. So now, with all this AI going on these days, we can even see some children being posted and the children being saying, I want to be with grandma. My mom is this, my mom is that. You know, these are things, these are life stories. So, and it's time for us to start changing the narratives in our children's life, so that when they grow up, they'll be the way you want them to be. Core conversation is very important. As your child is being born, the baby from 0 to 12, communication is important. Start talking to your child. Start having that conversation with your child. I remember when I had my kids early, I used to talk to my children. Remember one of my brother-in-laws was with me, was like, see, every day you'll be videoing your children, talking to them as if they are real people. Of course they are real people. So I have my kids. I was raising my kids when I was in medical school. I had my kids. I'll take them to where I'm studying. I'll sit them down and I'm teaching them. I'm using that to study, to remember what I'm going to be asked on my exams. I use their muscles. I talk to them. And that talking to your children is the best way to start. Because don't ever say, it's not time yet, let's put this on hold. No. Every stage the children are attaining, you have to make sure you converse with them. 2, you have to think of your children's brain development. No, as this child is born new, nothing in the brain yet. Everything is just out in this world to take in things that they can grab, the brain can grab. The brain, you have to look at your child's brain and make sure the maturity, the good health of your child's brain, you take it very seriously. Like, for example, my children, they were in elementary school. I was hustling, buzzle, going to school, going to work. I know doing homework with my kids will be very difficult for me. What did I do? I started to use some initiative, like to tell them, hey, if you're going to be doing your homework now, if you do homework by yourself, and I ask your teacher, do you do your homework? You get 5 cents if your teacher says yes. If you do a test with your teacher, and your teachers, if you get a B, you get 50 cents. If you get A, you get $1. That's how I was raising my kids. So anytime we go for this parent-teacher conference, the teacher will always say, Dr. O, your children always say they want to do a test. They want to do a test. When are we doing a test? Let's do a test. I say, yeah, because when they get good grades, I reward them. You see my children, as they were getting older, heading to that 12 years old, they were now able to know that education is very important. Because you have to educate your children. Because how you want your child to be is the standard that you will set. That's how they will be, what you want them to be. So my children were not able to now focus in school. Know that I always tell them, when your teacher is teaching, you have to look at the amount, whatever they're saying is what will be on the test. If you don't understand what they're saying, you have to ask questions. Always ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your teacher any question. So one teacher told me one day, oh, my son is always, me said this. Oh, what did you just say? Can you repeat what you said? So this is what I wasn't even there, but they were able to finish their homework. They were able to do their homework. They were able to interact with their teachers in class. They were able to be that child that always want to succeed, because that is what I instill in them. So as they were getting older, as your child is still on that age, like from before 12, your groominess is important. You have to pray with your children. You have to also find a time for family time with them. Take a little vacation with your children. So don't just leave them out there. You do work. Send them to babysitter. Don't ever let another family raise your children, because it's not good for the children. Because the standard you set will make that children, the brain will develop well or not develop well. Make sure your children are eating healthy food, nutritious food. Make sure that you focus on the core conversation. You focus on the brain of the child has to be your number one goal, to make sure the brain develop well. Then the other one, you have to make sure that your children are able to have that relationship with you without being afraid to talk to you, to ask questions. You have to build that trust at the beginning, that your children, you open that avenue for your children to trust you. Because if they don't trust you, once you lose a trust, you will never get a trust from that child anymore. So it's very important for you to create a healthy environment for your children to grow and strive, so that they will be able to achieve whatever you want them to achieve. And you see this life we are now. I always tell my children, life is a chapter. Life is a chapter. Once your child knows that before they turn 12, that life is a chapter, that the chapter will keep turning the page when you hit 12 years old. Because what happened after 12 years old is what you taught them at the beginning, that they will not carry to their teenage life, where they will not have peer pressure, so that the peer pressure they're going to be having will be the positive one. They will be the one telling their friends, even their friends say, hey, can we let go smoke some marijuana? I say, what are you talking about? My mom will not like that. My mom, no way, I can't let my mom down. I became a single mother when my kids were teenagers. And you know, raising teenage children is a very difficult time for everybody. So what did I do? Our parents raised us where you say the village. It takes a village to raise a child. But in America, where I was raising my kids, who have not done it, so will you have time now to come and be taking a village to raise children? Everybody focus on their own. So I developed my own strategies on how to make sure my children will come together as one, not division. Because the key thing there is to let your children know what you do. Every day when you before you go to work, oh my guys, I'm going to work. Mommy got to work because mommy got to put food on the table. Mommy got to pay this light that goes on and off. Mommy got to pay for it. Mommy got to do this. Mommy got to do that. Mommy got to do that. Parents got to do this. So when your child knows that this is what it takes, my mom is working, my mom is trying to make me have a light in the house, making sure that I have good food to eat, making sure that my environment is very, very comfortable for me. So that child will listen to you. That child will listen to you. You have to always try to be on a very don't be harsh to your children. Be on that tone, because this conversation is going to continue on my next. It's going to be 2 series actually. It's going to be on the next. Most of you will be on the next series when I'm talking about the next one, because this one I just had to raise these kids from when they were born to when they turn 12, before they start to go out there and learn things on their own to add to the one you now taught them. If you don't give them that good foundation at the beginning, so now they now go out there and now go take all the whole garbage out there. They will dump your own, because your own was not strong enough. When they now talk between 12 and 20, they will not grab whatever they can grab out there and they use it. Before you know, you start saying you have problem with your kids. Oh, my child is not focusing. My child is not in school. Oh, the teachers are calling you back and forth. Oh, your child is jumping on the table. Your child is this. Your child is that. So now bring me the last topic on this one. Delay your children assessment to social media, telephone. You guys, somebody telling me that, oh, my 5 years old already got a phone. And phone for what? So you have to let your child know that this holding telephone, being on the iPad, I get on my own grandkids all the time. I will put them on the schedule. We use that as a positive reinforcement for them to do what we want them to do. So if you want your child to do something that you want them to do their homework, be good at school, finish their courses, do whatever they need to do today at the end of the day, you know, if you get this done, I'll let you play with your iPad for like an hour or 30 minutes. And you have to put a time to it, because they can play this thing all night, all day. What does that do to your child? The plain memory that the child now goes, everything will now be all play. The brain will not see where to develop other things that will be wisdom, that will be knowledge, that will be something that they can use to learn other things in life. So moving forward, any social media, is it watching TV, or are you giving them the iPad to play with, or some games to play with? Let it be something you use as a positive reinforcement to correct negative behavior. Positive reinforcement to correct negative behavior, so that by the time this child turns 12 and now is on a different level where they go to middle school and go to high school, they will not be problematic, because that is where they will not gather some stuff. Then when they get to high school, they get to college, it will already be too late for you. So it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of effort, a lot of love to make sure you raise a wholesome child. So a lot of love, a lot of communication, a lot of taking the brain. The brain is in your palm like this. How that brain will develop is in your own hands. So you have to make sure that you focus and let your child's brain be important to you by the way the conversation you have with them, their own the food they eat, the type of game you let them get involved with, the type of play, the kind of friends they move with. So, and the kind of language, the environment, the setting of your environment, the foundation that you give to them. That is what will make that child grow up to be wholesome. So the next series we'll be talking about from their 20s to when they come to young adults. Thank you so much, and God bless you.